the integrity of the game was jeopardized last night. And that might sound a bit dramatic, but it's real. When the refs mess up, it's like, yeah, the refs are terrible, but the integrity of the game still remains intact. Until you hear a Tim Donahue story in the NFL, the game is still intact, even though the refs are terrible. Players make bad plays. The integrity is still good. The integrity of the game is something that people who maybe aren't fans of the game can say, yeah, that's why that game's terrible right there. This is a gentleman's game, a fraternity of freak athletes. And whenever you're willing to flip the switch and not have the control to not hit another human in the same position as you with a weapon, which is what a helmet is. You've seen it in the past. It happened with Antonio Smith, I believe, right? With the Texans. He rips off Richie Incognito's helmet. Then he goes to swing it at him, and he's like, wait, can't do that. Like, even in one of the biggest moments of anger and fury, and I'd assume Incognito and he had been battling all game, even in there, he's like, can't do that. I've seen a lot of things happen. Fights in practice, fights on the field. I've seen locker room brawls. The thought of using a weapon to hit somebody has never crossed anybody's mind. So I heard a couple people like say, yeah, Mason Rudolph isn't an angel here. I agree. He tried to do a little extracurricular activity. And if he would have caught a couple 2-pieces, maybe a 4-piece in the mouth from Myles Garrett, I think everybody would have been like, yeah. And Yinzers would have been like, hey, add another one for the 4 picks he threw. But instead, it's like, you can't do what you did. It's a privilege and a right to be in that league. Does that league get everything right? No. They make a lot of dumb decisions, but that's going to happen on a regular basis when you got 30 billionaires, a Davis family member, and then the Green Bay Packers organization making decisions. It's their sandbox. You got to play by their rules. But inside of those rules is a group of men trying to make a living. A group of men trying to seize the opportunity of the National Football League and their incredibly gifted talents and abilities. And whenever you can't operate within that society's rules, which is like, we don't do that. We don't swing a helmet at another human and hit that human with said helmet. Maybe like a warning shot, right? Like if he would have like swung and obviously missed him, I'd be like, all right, that guy's athletic enough to know that he wouldn't have reached him there. That was just like, ugh. But to make connection. And if the Castro wasn't there, that shot is much. By the way, he got the tip of the helmet, the bottom of the helmet. That's the hardest part. That's where all of it is coming together. Mason Rudolph, to his brain's credit, did not turn off in that situation. His brain has been through a lot this year. Take that shot, not get knocked out. I think that says a lot about Mason Rudolph. But this is just something I understand. This is not Myles Garrett's nature. Now, granted, I was tweeted a video of him doing something after the first game where he punched somebody, after a second game, and then now. But you think off the field, this is not his nature. This is something that the NFL has to crack down on. Because whenever people outside the NFL see this, they say, that's why that league is the way it is. Hey, they kneel for the national anthem. They swing helmets at each other. What is this? What is this? Back in my day, we used to go outside and just throw hands with each other. And then whenever it was over, it was over. Now, swinging helmets at each other and stuff like that, you're going to always have those ignorant humans. And those ignorant humans don't matter in our world much. But whenever the narrative gets painted by all those people who aren't football fans, and whenever we give them a reason to say the things that they say, the game looks bad, the shield looks bad, the league looks bad. And that's just something that can't happen. And if you want to respect the shield and appreciate the shield, let's assume that Myles Garrett's done for the rest of the year. Biggest win of their year, AFC North win against division rival Pittsburgh Steelers on primetime television. I haven't heard one mother trucker talk about them winning that game. Instead, it's almost like the complete opposite. Like they lost the game. They lost their best defensive lineman for the year. He's gone. Ogunjobi's going to get suspended for a couple games for the late cheap shot, which, to Mason Rudolph's credit, the kid got hit in the head with a helmet, threw 4 picks, gets hit in the head with a helmet after getting Pez dispensered, then gets blind shotted by Ogunjobi, and in a moment that could be utter confusion, he looks right at him in less than a snap of the finger and goes, bitch. He could have took more, I think. I think Mason Rudolph wanted more in that whole thing. It was just a wild scene to end that game. AFC North Tough division, tough guys, cowardly act at the end of that thing.